7 conversations to have with your son, and then
8 conversations to have with your son.
Okay.
8 conversations with your daughter, co-parent, and yourself.
Okay.
Yourself book is,
Yeah, I need to read that one then.
That's the one that talks about the me time.
Me time? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll really hone in on that one then.
Yeah, I break down to 168 hours in a week. And then, 45 of it goes to our job and preparation for the job. Another 20, 30 hours go to sleep, shit like that. But what's left over is you're drained by the time you have the me time. You're drained by that point. You know what I'm saying? You might have at 9 o'clock at night. You might finally be able to sit down, but you're too tired to focus on you.
So what do you do your me time before your day starts, or is it intertwined with your day, or what do you do?
All right, so look, so basically what I do usually, I try to schedule my work day from 11 to 2.
So you super effective during that time then?
Yeah, 11 to 2, I'm zoned in, bro. I'm working. If you focus on 3 to 4 hours, like real quality hours in a day, well, you don't need no more than that. You don't need no more than that.
Yeah, I need to work on that, being effective. Like, really, like, not recklessly using my time. Just whatever I need to get done, get it done.
Yeah, airplane mode. Airplane mode. Just having your to-do list. Like, I constantly look at my to-do list all day long. Check it all. Boom, boom, boom. Every day I have that to-do list. At night I'll prepare it for the morning, and in the morning I'll revise it because I might have, while I was asleep, I might have thought of something different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I might, I tweak it, but that to-do list is everything, man.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's Mikal Settle with Blaise Training Never Settle, and now I'm super excited because we just got a new training app to service our people. So listen. If you're interested in losing 15 to 20 pounds or even gaining 15 to 20 pounds, this is the opportunity for you to reach out to me so we can start to service you a little better, okay? Now, reach out to me directly or comment your information below, and so we can set up a consultation meeting with you for free. Just gonna be 10 minutes of your time to figure out some of your struggles, some of your goals, and some of the motivation behind your goals so we can start to service you better and move forward in the process to help you reach your fitness goals, okay? And then you never know. You might end up even being here training with me at Aspen Active, all right? I hope to see you guys later, and never settle. Man, what's good, y'all? Back here again on another Monday, Mike Motivation Monday with another great guest. As you can see, this is a great guest right here. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, man, for real. Like since I started doing this a couple years ago. So man, I'm super excited to have you here. I'm honored to have you here, you know what I mean? We outside, you see the great view. We had to do something extra. Shout out to Midwest Matthew, so yeah, I'm super excited to be here with John Martin Sr., and so I appreciate you being here. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of different things, but my first thing I do wanna comment on first is you being John Martin Sr. One thing I always notice with you is I see you out promoting your kids, promoting your son on Instagram and Facebook, having your daughter be there with you at vendor events. Can you tell us about you as a father first, how much inspiration that gives you?
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna tell you like this, I wear many hats. Yeah. But being a father is by far the most rewarding, stimulating. It's what I live for. Yeah. I love being a father. My kids are a little older now, so I'm starting to enjoy myself, just being me. Being alone a lot of times, but 100%. Man, being a father is everything. And one thing about being a father that's helped me is I understand the value I understand how much my kids have helped me. Actually. Besides me helping them, guiding them, molding them, shaping them or whatever, but me actually being able to provide an example and having to stay on my square. Yeah. Because they're watching you. 100%. Your kids are watching you 24 hours a day. 100%. They're sizing you up. They're waiting for you to show that imperfection. You know what I mean? And as long as you allow yourself not to be perfect, and stay humble and stay on your route and provide that example for your kids to see, that's everything to me, man.
No, facts.
I tell my son all the time, thank you. Yeah. Because when he was younger, I realized this. My phone going on.
No, you good.
But when he was younger, he'd be in the back seat, Tyler age, 2 years old in the back seat, right? And I'm driving, I look in the rearview mirror, he's looking straight dead at me every single time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so that just told me right there, like, man, your son is watching you. Yeah. Regardless of how you try to fake it till you make it or whatever, your 100%. Son sees you. Yeah. In all of your realness. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta come with it. You gotta be real. You gotta walk the walk. You gotta talk the talk. You know, and that's one thing that being a father has done, man. Just helped me stay on point. Stay 100%. Stay with a purpose. Yeah, you know? 100%. So.
And so, man, like that's one thing I want to touch on, y'all. The book of the week. When I tell y'all, hey, this book is powerful. 40 Jewels, bruh, I already read it twice and I'm about to read it again. Oh, yeah? Keep reading it. Yeah, it's a powerful book, and I told them about your storytelling. But one thing you just made me think of, too, is being able to learn from a baby, like you said in the book, too, right? And so what's one of the most powerful things that you learn from your kids?
Just basically watching them. Like, okay, for example, my daughter, right? Watching her, it's helped me actually be able to communicate with grown women because I have a starting point. Yeah. I've watched her. She's 16 now, you know what I mean? But it's given me a sense of empathy, a sense of compassion towards just women, period. Yeah. Like, it's given me 100%. A whole nother side. Now, my son, looking at him grow up, I've noticed some of the mistakes I've made growing up, and seeing him is just like, this is another chance for me to get it right, for one. 100%. You know, but watching him move, it just helps me every day. Like, being a father, I'm telling y'all, if you're not a father yet, are you a father?
No, I'm not a father yet.
Man, hey man, come on, man. I'm a strong advocate for that, man, because it's helped me grow. Yeah, it helped me grow, man. It helped me, weed out a lot of the negativity. Yeah, it helped me weed out a lot of the BS, 100%. And it had me stay with the straight and narrow. Yeah. Now, I'm not perfect by any means. I don't ever want to give that false look out there. You know what I mean? But I could have did a lot worse. Yeah, 100%. I could have did a lot worse if I wasn't, paying attention to my kids.
No, 100%. You got to give yourself credit though, for sure. And so one of the things that you really made me think about something deep is when you say you was driving and you're looking in the rearview mirror, you seeing your son.
Always looking.
But then if you really think about how deep that is, you seeing yourself too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what's some of the things that you looked at yourself and really like dove in, like, okay, this is what I've been learning, or what's some lessons that you learned from yourself, just reflecting and really internally doing some digging? Because that's really the key, is internally digging on who you are. You know what I mean? Sure. So what's some of the things you learned from yourself?
Okay.
Just,
one thing that I wanted him to see, since I knew that he was looking at me, was growing up, man, I was super big on addiction. You know, I grew up with a father that was a stepfather that had a really bad crack addiction. Yeah. My mother had a really bad alcohol addiction. Yeah. And I wanted him to see, you could be in a setting where everybody's doing things around you, 100%. And you don't have to be that guy. You know what I mean? You have to be a leader. You have to make your own way. So there'd be times where I throw like a barbecue and have all the fellas over, have everybody out kicking it, a little party or whatever. But I'd make sure that, I would make sure that he's there. Yeah. And I would also make sure that he'd have to run to the refrigerator to get me a bottle of water. Yeah. You know what I mean? To see that. That's a lesson. I'm not drinking alcohol. That's a lesson. And you see, I'm cool as can be. Yeah. I'm chilling with everybody, but I'm not indulging, and I don't have to, and you don't have to. So, that's big. As far as, just always knowing that when your child is looking at you, you're teaching them. Yeah. You're teaching them right or wrong, regardless if you want to or not. Regardless, however you are in that moment, they're picking up something from you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you always got to be mindful of that.
100%.
So.
No, that's facts. Because one thing is, that's so true, man. Kids learn so fast. They absorb so much information so fast. Yeah. So I think that's kudos and congratulations to you, is because I feel like people take it for granted, but then also too is outside looking in. not for me. I didn't have my dad in my life, but shout out to my uncle though, Ivan. You know Ivan Sleepy the artist. He's been like
phenomenal guy.
He's been like a good father figure for me, and I had other people like really mentor me and help me. But not having that relationship with your dad, it's a void. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's super like key for not only people listening, but super important that we congratulate you too on changing the perception on what the black dad's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Because you totally opposite of what they, you know what I'm saying, project us to be.
Right, and the thing is about they saying all that, it's starting to be minute because all my homeboys are good dads. Yeah. You know, I don't know anybody that's out here being a deadbeat. And if I do, then they're doing a good job not showing it, you know what I mean? Because 100%. I'm telling you, like, I know I know more good fathers than I do bad fathers, you know. So, you know, just bringing that up. But to add to your point about being a father or having that father figure, when I was growing up, I felt like I didn't have a father because a lot of that time my stepdad was on drugs, and back in the 90s we didn't respect people that were on drugs. You know, if you was on crack cocaine in the 90s, we would be making fun of you, we were serving you. You know what I mean? We just didn't have that respect. You know, and I didn't have respect for him until I got older and had a chance to be a man and understand that people go through struggles.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
I had a chance to reflect and think about all the things he went through in his life. You know, addiction is a mug, man. You know, a lot of people don't beat that monkey off their back.
That's facts.
You know, so
that's facts.
You know, I just had to learn to accept him for who he was. But during the 90s, I didn't have no respect for him. You know, he would be stealing from me, and you know, there was a whole bunch of things that went on. So I didn't feel like I had a father. And that just led me to be a lot less confident in myself. I didn't really know who I was. For one, that's my stepfather. My biological father, I didn't know. And once I met my biological father at 34 years old, that changed my life. Like my chest stuck out a little bit. I seen where I got my hands from. I seen where I got my freckles from. I see, you know, the mannerisms that I had. Even though I never met the guy prior to that, like it was a spitting image. Like we was just like each other. So just seeing that visual of him, you know, just imagine if I was that toddler looking at my dad through the, you know, every time he looked at me in the rear view, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at him from that day. I didn't have that. I didn't get that till I was 34 years old, and then it changed my whole life. And the first time I met my biological dad, it was for 1 hour. You know what I mean? I flew down to Miami. We talked. I wasn't there for him.
Was you nervous? Was you nervous going down there?
Not at all. Not at all, because I am who I am, you know? You know, either you rock with me or you don't. I went down there more or less to meet my baby sister. But also to just see him, just to observe. It wasn't nothing to do with him, his impression or the impression that I wanted to make on him. I wanted to see how he would affect me. I wanted to see where I got certain characteristics from it, and you know, he lived up to it. I got what I came for. And it just gave me a tremendous amount of confidence. You know,
did you feel free after?
I felt free. I was liberated, man. I felt free, and I never really understood that until afterwards, because a lot of times when you have when you have confidence issues, low self-esteem, you might not even know it. You know what I mean? You might not even know it until you get that boost. And that's where I was at, man. I never really, man, I kind of walked around with my head down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I still made moves, but man, the moves I was making wasn't at optimal levels. You know, because I just didn't know. So being a father, just creating that presence for your seed is everything, man. As long as they, I mean, not 100% of the time, but if they can see where they come from, that means a lot. Anyway, it meant everything for me.
100%.
You know, so
no, that's true, because it gives you a sense of empowerment, and that's one thing too. I felt like that's when I see when I see the youth, because there's a group of kids too, like. Before I walked into to your office, I just seen a group of kids. There's like 10 or 12 of them. They young, you know, like
right out here.
Right out here. They was walking from the bus, like super cool, like you know. But then in my mind, I'm thinking like, typically based on how society's perceiving them, because there's an old white guy walking down too, you can see him kind of hesitating.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt like, okay, that's our people. But then also too is I feel like for our youth, a lot of them that are lost and doing all of these crimes and doing a lot of stuff, they just don't know where to come from. They don't got no sense of empowerment because we're not projected as high level thinkers like you writing a book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're usually not, unless you created your own platform, right?
Yeah.
But usually we're not going to be put on the forefront to project intelligence unless you like Uncle Sam or going against the people. You know, so I feel like knowing where you come from would change your whole perspective. And then a lot of these kids that's getting led astray will have something to look up to and know like, okay, this could be me too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because, you know, when we don't know where we come from, we could fall for anything, really. You know,
100%.
we fall victim to a lot of the BS music out here. Yeah. Like back in the 90s, man, I've said this in plenty of podcasts and interviews and stuff, man. Back in the 90s, I didn't have to sell drugs, but I did because I want to say a huge percentage of the reason why I sold drugs was because that was the thing to do. That was a cool thing to do. Everywhere you turned, that's what you seen. Like that's what music instilled in us, really. 100%. You know what I mean? And it was like, I could have went and got a job, you know, but I was told that was square. You know, I was told that, you know, you could make a lot more money on the corner. But in all actuality,
you can.
You know, I do the numbers. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
But no, I say is you can really fast. But one thing I was mentioning to somebody too is like, okay, you got the person that's working at McDonald's making $300-400 a week, you know. Then you got a person that's hustling that's making $2,000 or $3,000, you know. But the thing is, people don't keep in mind like, okay, you're getting it real fast, but you got to think about the dangers that come with it, like losing your money from getting plenty of different things, getting robbed, really anything, you know what I'm saying? Going to jail. But then say that person that's making that $2,000 a week gets locked up 6 months later, he's in jail for 2 years. That person that's working at McDonald's every week, he gonna have more money than a dude that's locked up, and you got a lot of fees to pay. Cause I know some people that's locked up, bro. They be telling me the money they owe and all this type of stuff is crazy. You know, cause
man, we used to hustle for crazy. Just to we used to hustle just knowing that we would have to put money on our books. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Because we knew we was going at one point. I mean, that's the mentality that a lot of us had. I'm fortunate. I'm so fortunate. I'm blessed that I never had to walk that route. I never had to go that way. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a big time drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? I did my thing. I dabbled and dabbled a little bit, but that was it. And you know, I learned faster than others, I guess.
100%.
A lot of others. So, you know, but when you talk about money, that's what we was talking about, or that's what I was talking about in the book, 40 Jewels, is 100%. That sometimes we're not ready for the money. Yeah, you know, and that's one thing that I had to learn, along with, you know, even being in business. Like, you could have a skill, you could really know what you're doing, and you could really make a lot of money, but are you mentally prepared for that money as fast as it's coming in? Yeah. Because it can be damaging. 100%. And a lot of times it damaged me. Yeah. More than it actually helped me. You know, money.
In what way though?
Okay, so like I explained in the book a little bit, you know, money makes it easier for you to be addicted to whatever is in front of you, because for one, you got access to it. You could buy all the amounts. Like I was drinking heavy, you know, and I wasn't mature enough to understand that, you know, I can't just be drinking my money away. Yeah. I was thinking, oh man, I'm gonna make another 2 bands tomorrow or 2,000 tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna make, you know, this such and such. But I wasn't paying attention to all the money I was spending. Yeah. You know, as opposed to, you know, you can make 10,000 a week, but are you spending $9,500 of it? You know?
No, that's
so that's where I was coming from too. 100%. And then also the other thing is that you get comfortable. Yeah. You know, you get comfortable before it's time to get comfortable. Yeah. You know, and you'll run through that money a lot. Yeah. And what I've noticed back in my day was I would make nice amounts of money and then I'd kick my feet up. I'd chill. I would feel accomplished, like I did something, but that's not the way. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know, you got to keep pouring into your passion.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna lose it.
No, that's facts. Because you made me think of a thing. And this I always tell people when I be in the gym with them is, on your last set, or when you're about to get on your last set, that's not the time to slow down. Yeah. Because if you slow down, somebody can pass you. You know what I mean? And then you won't finish the race. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's important to not settle, really. Yeah. You know, never settle. Don't settle for real, because if you don't, you're gonna miss on your opportunity. And those are the times you want to keep going and applying pressure. But then one thing too is touching on the money part and having too much access. I love this example. You gave with the dude. You said, imagine if a person is doing coke occasionally or something like that. Like every 2 months he's going out, he's just having fun every couple weeks or so. But then he starts getting a lot more money. He decides to start partying more and really getting addicted to it. Next thing you know, I think you said he goes from partying every other week to every other day. You know what I mean? So what's your advice for those people that starting to get more access to the money, or has aspirations to have more money? How do they maintain their mindset? Because it's really a mindset thing.
And it's I'm gonna be all the way real with you, man. It's hard. It's hard to stay focused when that money's coming in. Like it's an addiction, or it can turn into an addiction. What kind of worked for me is having kids, having my kids at the forefront of my mind. But if you don't have kids, like, what's there to stop you? One thing is, you know, maybe having a vision board and constantly holding yourself accountable and putting sticky notes all over the place to really keep you on board that way. You know, getting a mentor, getting a business coach, you know, a business coach that's going to keep you accountable, you know, because we can't do it by ourselves. A lot of us can't, you know, a lot of us, you know, and I don't want to call it weak-minded because it's natural to want to spend money. Like, you know, that's what it's printed for that. You know, it's an illusion. You know, so I would definitely suggest to, you know, get a business coach. Set some goals for yourself. And stay with those goals. Don't put no astronomical goal out there to where if you don't reach that goal, then you just feel defeated and you just stop. Make your goals realistic to where, okay, maybe I want to get 3 clients this week instead of 10. You know, once you get them 3 clients, then boom, that is like a boost for your endorphins.
100%.
You know, and every goal that you crush, it just makes you more and more confident. It just makes your brand better. It makes you know, get to it instead of just focusing on the money. You know, focusing on the money is going. I mean, that more often than not, focusing on the money is a downfall.
100%. Yeah, that's powerful, man. And man, we dropping gems already, Jules. Hey, look, telling y'all, this is a powerful book, bro. This is a powerful book. Y'all need to get this. But we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. See y'all later. What's good, y'all? It's Mikal Settle with Blaise, Train and Never Settle. Now listen, I want you to stay tuned for this new ebook we got coming out. It's going to be fire. Great efficient workouts, whether it's the home workouts or the gym workouts. So stay tuned. Enjoy the rest of the show. Peace. Man, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the show so far. And I hope you enjoyed that ad. But man, we about to dive back into some great conversation. But man, there's so many things that we touched on earlier. But one key thing I wanted to ask you too is it's about business, right? So you said something earlier that made me think of it though, is like your mindset switched from when you was younger and then into like being a businessman that you are now, super sharp, super intelligent, just you giving me a whole bunch of game even off camera. Like what was that transition like? Was it one thing that happened in your life that you was like, you know what? I'm focused on this or building who I am as a person, or was it like a gradual process?
Yeah, it was. First off, thanks for giving me those compliments, man.
Man, of course, man. That's what we're here for. Give you, you know, give you your praise, you know.
I appreciate that. Transition, right? So, I think with me, it was more or less spending time with myself and focusing on bettering myself as a person. And I think when you take that time to develop yourself and develop who you are, I think that everything around you elevates.
Yeah.
Business, everything. Like you can't run a business if you aren't in tune with who you are and what you're trying to do and this and that. And when I first started doing my business, my marketing company, I didn't have it all together. I didn't know what really a lot of the things that I was doing. I just was figuring it out, but I didn't stop. You know what I mean? And you just got to push through and bump your head. Like there's certain things you just can't learn in the classroom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts.
You got to learn it in actual, in real time doing it. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of it came in at. So I had to fine tune myself. I had to self-check myself, you know, and the transition would be more or less like keeping your priorities as a focus. Yeah. Too many times that as people, me included, get into a attitude or a time period where we're just kind of off the clock, right? And we're just going with the flow, autopilot, so to speak. Comfortable, that type of feel. And I just make sure that I'm never comfortable, man. Like, even when I used to work at a 9-to-5 in a cubicle setting, if you was to walk by my desk, you wouldn't know that I was
somebody
there.
Worked there.
You wouldn't know. I didn't have no pictures. There's some people that bring their whole life to where they're working, like it's their company, like it's their, and I'm not knocking that at all. It's just that I can't ever get into that mindset because I know at any moment that I can get fired. I can lose focus on this and quit. I can do I got to do whatever. I like month-to-month leases. Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy is like, I just told you I just got done with that job I was at. Yeah. It's crazy is because I had a cubicle. Yeah. And it's crazy because I read that in your book, bro. I think it either was in your book or because I'll be watching your IG videos and motivation like, damn, this is powerful for real.
Thank you, man.
So like, when I first got to that job, I literally thought about what you said. Like, don't get comfortable because like, I didn't have my stuff in there chilling. I didn't have no pictures of nobody that had the little name tag. I didn't really take that to heart because I'm like, I know this cubicle is not gonna limit me, and I'm not gonna get comfortable here at all. So I gotta make sure I'm always grinding, putting the work in. I did my job, but then I'm making sure that I'm focused on my ultimate goal. Because man, it's crazy you say that because literally when I got in that cubicle, I kid you not, bro, I thought about what you said. Like,
I
don't get comfortable. I'm not gonna bring my pictures. I'm not gonna bring,
And again, I'm not knocking a 9-to-5. Like, and you're not either. We're not knocking a 9-to-5. It's just because 9-to-5 got me to where I am today. Like, there's a lot of I worked customer service, telemarketing, collections, and that like helped me develop my speaking, negotiations, all 100%. Kinds of different things, man. So I'll never knock it. It's just I know that there was something else for me.
100%.
There's something else for me. And the more and more that we like the chapter's called "Comfortability Will Kill You."
Yes.
And I'm a firm believer of that, man. Sometimes I'll knock myself off just because I know what it is to grind. Yeah. Sometimes on a level of success, I don't know how to be on that transitional space.
What you mean by that?
Okay, so for example, there's times where I feel like I'm successful and I don't know what's next after that. And maybe it's a little bit of fear, maybe just a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit of just me being too uncomfortable. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'll knock myself off a little bit because I know what it is to have my back up against a wall and fight about that box.
100%.
And it keeps me motivated. Just like 50 Cent, he said he had to go back to his grandma's house and live in his grandma's house for a few months to get back into that mindset where he was when he was hungry. Yeah. Sometimes the worst thing for me is not being hungry. Yeah. If I'm eating, oh man, I'm human. I like 100%. I like to chill. I like to, and I constantly gotta say, hey man, this ain't it. This ain't time. This ain't time for that, man.
That's
you just gotta keep going.
That's facts. Because I think it just takes a certain type of individual too, though, to be like, to understand, and it reminds me of what you said too, is falling in love with the passion. And to me, what I get from falling in love with your passion is you're falling in love with the purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And you're falling in love with the process. You got to embrace the process because there's really no ending. You know what I'm saying? Because after you get one goal, you can be like, okay, I want to achieve the next thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I do to evolve? You know?
Yeah.
And so for you, what are certain things that you've done in your life? Like, because I don't know if you ever did you always want to write books?
I tell you what, I didn't always want to write books. I've always wanted. There's always been a part of me that wanted to encourage other people and have people, inspire other people. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do that. And everything that I've done in my life, as far as even creating the stage play, the tragedy, like that was to empower people. You know, my post is to empower people. Like everything that I do, but when I was growing up, I had a really bad speech impediment. Even to this day, like I struggle with my speech. So I always wrote things down. And one thing that I'm a firm believer of is you got to use the tools that God gave you, right?
Facts.
And one thing that he gave me was the ability to write. And, people were encouraging me for a long time to, man, stop posting everything. You know, you get paid off of that. Off of what you be posting, like people would stop me and tell me that. I remember Words Taylor one time. He said, "Man, you your
words are powerful."
Word.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Words is powerful.
So I was like, you know what? And not that money was my motivation to write. It's just I wanted to test myself and be like, you know what? Let me write. So I came out with a children's book that did pretty well. I got a lot of good feedback, and once you get that first review, that's what had me going. Like, man, I got that first 5-star review. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I might be on something. And that feeling that I got was so big. That feeling that I got, there's only a few times in my life that I got that feeling. Obviously, when my kids were born, and then when the play was produced, and when I used to produce the comedy shows, and I would watch people laughing in the audience, man. Like that euphoric feeling was what I got during that review. So that just kept pushing me to do more. So now I have a book series called 8 Conversations to Have. I got another book coming out with that. It's a 4-book series now. I'm about to put the 5th one out. I'm about to put part 2 out to the 40 Jewels. And man, I'm just going to keep running with this with this writing thing, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's therapeutic for me also. Because it has me revisiting a lot of stuff from my past. You know, so.
No, that's powerful because that's the thing is you evolve. You allowed yourself to evolve.
Trying to,
you know what I'm saying? Sure. And that's what people need to understand is like, don't put yourself in a box. Like too many people put themselves in a box. Like, imagine if you didn't listen to them. Like, could you imagine like your friend, you know, they was like, bro, right, do something with that, what you're saying. Could you imagine it, how much different it would be, like not putting out these books? Because this changed my life. It's a powerful book, bro. It's a powerful book.
Hey,
so
man,
it's like,
I believe that, man. I believe that wholeheartly, man. I've heard that before. Like,
and I be seeing the people's reviews on Facebook. They saying like, stopping you like, hey, you the book guy. like ain't that crazy though?
Man, you know what? Man, it's so humbling, man. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling because I never really thought that people would be looking up to me or looking for my words, or people stop me sometimes and be like, man, remember this, and they'll bring up something that I totally forgot. But it's something that I told them, man, thanks for telling me this back then because it helped me do this or such and such. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. But I learn as much from other people as I give. I try to give just as much. And I receive just as much, man. I learn from you. I learn from Matt. I learn from everybody that I come into contact with. I'm constantly watching. I'm constantly absorbing. You like I said in the book, you can learn from a baby. You know what I mean? And it's so gratifying going through life knowing that other people are your equals, man. And we're here to bounce information off of each other. 100%. We're here to give each other game, and to learn from each other.
100%.
So,
bring the next generation forward. And that's the key. And I feel like this is the problem. This is one of the problems that I noticed, like, not only throughout our community as Blacks, but then also, especially in the Des Moines, there's not a lot of Black men that are trying to bring the next generation forward in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Like you are, you know, there's not a lot of, you don't really see that often. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's a huge disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation. You see what I'm saying? Not only with music, but then also in our community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's really good for you. You could tell not only with your kids, but how you interact with not only me, Matt, but just other people. Because I be seeing how you interact with the people. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge key. And so, my bad, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to ask you is, what's some advice that you got when you were younger that you didn't catch on to until you was older?
Oh man, there's so much, man. So I lost my dad last year, my stepdad last year, back in April of 2021, right? And so this whole year since he's been gone, I just been reflecting on things that he's told me. And there's so much. Like I don't even know where to begin. One thing, never count your money until it's in your hand. Like that's it sounds so simple, but man, that's so real. Like, you know, little things, man. Just every day there's something that pops in my head like, man, that's what he meant. You know, dang, I was just talking to somebody about this earlier, but it's not coming to my mind right now. But there's so many gems, man. There's a lot that I've learned and still need to learn. You know, one thing is your reputation. Is, you know, you live and die by your rep. Honestly, man.
That's facts.
And if I can give any business advice to anybody, you know, that really needs to be said, is you have to wake up every day knowing that when you walk outside, you could be whoever you are in your house. You know what I'm saying? You could be whatever you are happy with or comfortable with. But there's a certain way you gotta carry yourself, and it has to be authentic, and it has to be absorbed by others, you know, and it has to be you know, more like your name, man. Your name is just everything. It has to be the forefront of how you communicate, how you walk, how you just everything you do. You have to be thinking about your name, you know, because one day you're gonna have kids, and believe it or not, your last name, people are gonna judge him off of what you did.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're gonna judge him off of what you did, regardless.
That's legacy right there.
Yeah, it's legacy, and it's like, man, I would hate for, you know, somebody to run up on my son or talk to my son about and have a negative light because of something I did. You know what I mean? And that's always on the forefront of my mind. Like,
that's powerful.
Like, you have to carry yourself in a certain way. You live and die by your rep. And once your rep is gone, it's a wrap. And I know that there's certain people that you will never be able to, you know, there's certain people that you just can't vibe with.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be those people that, regardless of what you do, they're not gonna feel it. They don't want to hear it. They, you know,
that's true.
And those are twos and fews. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that had a perception of me from back in the day that I was able to, with consistent behavior, I was able to change their ways of thinking about me.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And not everybody, but some. You know, and that's what matters to me, man. Because one day we're all gonna be sitting or laying down. You know what I'm saying? And people are going to reflect and talk about what they've learned from us, or what their interactions with us. And they say that you might not remember what somebody said to you or done to you, but you're always going to remember how they made you feel. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
And that's just the way it is, man.
That's real, man. That's so real. Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for sharing that. And so, my last question for you, and I like to ask every guest this, is what, actually, even before I forget, I like to give every guest a gift, you know, and so, you know,
and my birthday's coming up.
Yeah, look, we got them a shirt, you know, give them some merch. I don't think not very many people got this one right here.
Too. And it feels good. Yeah, I like the color, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear this tomorrow. And you got the size. Yeah, for sure.
Got the size.
Thank you.
And you got them a book. And so really, I always try to give somebody a book that kind of reflects on something that I think you'll be interested in, but then I think that's like kind of goes on to the conversation of kind of who the person is. So, so what it says, don't worry, make money. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with that.
So, boom, that's you right there.
Thank you, man. I like how it's a bite-sized book too.
Exactly. So I hope I didn't get the chance to read it, but I just wanted to,
well, I'll
get
share
something
some
that
things.
I think.
When I read it, I'll share some things that I picked up from it.
Okay,
cool. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course.
Good look, for sure.
100%, man, 100%. And so my last question for you is, what comes to mind when you hear never settle?
That's a good question. Never settle. Never settle means to never let die. To me, never settle means keep going. Keep going. Don't be comfortable.
Yes.
Never settle means that there's always something bigger and better.
100%.
That you can strive for. And nothing's wrong with that. That's not being greedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people think, oh man, you're never satisfied. No, that's not it.
That's not the point.
It's just we know that there's something else.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And we're gods out here,
Yes.
and not to use that in the wrong text.
No, I get it. 100%. We're abundant.
Yeah.
We're abundant. And really even on a basic level, this is what I don't get people is like, when we're saying we're gods, we really are though. Because if you think about what God did in the beginning of the Bible, talk about speaking the word, creating things, he thought something and then brought it to real life. Yeah. That's what you did with this book. That's what I did with my brand. Thought of an idea, start working out. That's what we're all gods. Because we able to create things and make them like into real life.
Yeah,
you know what
we're
I mean?
definitely able to build or destroy, things that we
Exactly.
touch. And that's something I touch on in a conversation I have with your son, is, just the wording that we use is very important.
Yes.
And to instill this, real quick, I gave the example of when he used to play football, he wasn't really paying attention on the field. And, football is a sport where you can't relax. Like, you gotta
100%.
really stay tuned in because you could get your head knocked off.
That's
you know
facts.
what I mean? So he wasn't really taking it serious. And so we transformed him from that into playing basketball. He wanted to pick that skill up. So I said, okay, cool. Destroy that thought of football. Now you could build on this basketball career that you got going on. You know what I mean? And just those wording is, one, it creates a sense of accountability because you're putting it into your hands. If you know that you could build or destroy something, that's crucial. Yes, especially at an early age. But back to the never settle though.
That's a powerful message, bro.
But never settling is just knowing that there's something more.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're trying to grab something more, as in like anything materialistic, or you have to have a whole bunch of stuff. It might mean just learning something more. You know what I'm saying? Taking something in. There's always something else to do. Always something else to have and to move towards. And it's not monetary at times. It's not materialistic. It's just the way it is. You know?
That's facts. That's facts, man. That's powerful. John Martin Sr. Man, what is it? I think is it Dr. John Martin? I like that too.
Dr. Martin Sr.
I love that. I love that. Dr. Martin Sr. You know what I'm saying? But man, I appreciate you doing this with me. But one thing I always like to do too is tell a story that kind of relates to the conversation, right? And so I told this story before, but one of the things that you made me think of is very powerful that we invest in our youth. You know what I mean? And the reason why is, one thing is, like, when I was in college, because my dream was to go to the NFL, I was going to be on the NFL team, all this and that. But then after I stopped playing football in college, I was still in college. I had a couple years left. And so one thing I ended up doing is I ended up going across seas and being in that internship I was telling you about in Bahrain. If y'all don't know where that is, it's just an island off of Saudi Arabia. But
45 minutes from Dubai, right?
Yep, 45 minutes from Dubai. Yep. That's and so, it was nice, man. But one thing is, I went there, I was lost, but then I ended up finding myself. You know what I'm saying? But then during that time, I was spending a lot of time working with the youth, because I was pretty much like a youth teacher for like military kids. So I was working with babies all the way up to high schoolers every day, working with them. But then, because at first I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna really like this. But then I end up, me investing in them, I learned so much from them. Like they gave me my energy to invest in myself, go to the gym every day. And then that's where I really started Blaise training, and then never settled.
An incredible brand, by the way, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
And
so once I did that, I started to build from there, and then boom, I found myself, you know. So you can learn, like you said, you can learn from a baby. Like, and that's what I did, learning from the youth, finding myself, spending time overseas. It was incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shout out to you, man, because you are one incredible young man that's inspired. You inspired me. I know you inspired the city of Des Moines and wherever else you touch. You know, I know you've been all over the globe. You know what I mean? But just seeing you grind, and just like I was explaining to you earlier, I haven't seen you grow. I've seen you be at a level of growth. You know, but I wasn't there from the rooter to the tutor, so to speak. You know what I mean? And what I've seen from you has been consistent, and that's key. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. Putting good product out there. You know, keeping your physique right. You know.
100%. Thank you, man.
And you're definitely going to go places. Definitely.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. For real, that means a lot. That means a lot. Like I said, I will say it again. Get this book.
Please get this book.
Get this book. Like, for real. We're going to cut this up so you can get it too, so you can post it, and I'm going to post it. But y'all,
part 2 coming out.
Part 2
in a little bit.
Man, get this book. And then you want to plug all your information, your Instagram, Facebook,
Instagram, Dr. Martin
websites.
Website is 8conversationsthathav.com. That's the number 8conversationsthathav.com. Read the reviews on there. It's on Barnes & Noble and Amazon and stuff like that, but go to my website.
Go to his website.
You know,
Straight
go
to
my
source.
website, please.
Straight to the source.
And then John Martin Sr. on Facebook.
And then plug your marketing business, any other thing you want to plug.
TeamStrongInc.com. We handle websites, apps, consulting, anything that you need as far as boosting your business. If you need help building your brand, just contact us. We'll put you in tune. We have an excellent team. Also, my son John Martin cuts. You need a haircut, you know, come see him.
Come get that fade, boy.
Other than that, you know, we're just going to keep rolling. We're just going to keep moving. Also, real quick, support CV3, which is a group here that has been developed to help change the mindset of high-risk individuals that are out here, you know, using guns as their first resort to handle situations. You know, the youth are getting younger and younger, handling guns, and it's an epidemic.
That's
you know,
facts.
when you think of gun violence, it's actually a health epidemic right
That's
now.
Facts.
You know? It's taking a whole generation out, and we all can do just a little bit. If we can do more, let's do more. But each one of us can do a little bit. Hold ourselves accountable to help just one young man, one young woman, mentor. Put some words of encouragement into their world. We don't know how we don't know what it can do, you know, or how far it can go. But I will say this: I'm a firm believer of just a little bit is a lot. I talk to a lot of kids. I mentor a lot of kids. And they're lost out here.
That's facts.
They are lost out here.
That's
They're
facts.
getting, you know, sent in the wrong direction all the time through the media, social media. All kinds of different things are playing against us.
100%.
Even some of their parents, you know what I mean?
Parents,
so if we can get in
music.
tune and just give a little bit, you know, just give a little bit.
And that's what's
a lot
it called,
of them will catch
4BC?
on. It's CV3. CV3, we're an organization here in Des Moines.
Okay. I'm gonna do it. If I can volunteer my time too, I will.
Man, please do.
For real.
Please do.
Like,
I'll give you the information. Matter of fact, we'll talk after this, and hopefully you can come. We talk to kids at Meyer Hall every week.
Okay.
And
I'll pull up for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I will say this: the kids will listen. You know, if it's authentic, if it's consistent. You know, that was a big part growing up. Just real quick, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We're good.
Okay. When I was growing up, we had a lot of caseworkers and stuff try to help us out. Like, I was considered a high risk individual too. Not as far as gun violence or anything like that, but just being a badass, like just being retarded.
Nah, I
you know
get
what I'm saying? But consistency wasn't there with a lot of the individuals, man. So, you know, a lot of times we would be told certain things and we'll get all excited about a mentor coming and they wouldn't show up and stuff like that. So that really created a bad atmosphere.
No, 100%.
So now if we could get a group of fathers, a group of men together, you know what I mean, and really be consistent, just a little bit of your time is going to go a long way.
100%, because they'll remember that. Because one thing too is, growing up is, I was always involved with trying to help the youth, even when I was a youth. And one thing is, when I was like in high school, we'll go back to the elementary schools, and because I played quarterback at Roosevelt. So we'll go back to the elementary schools, and I still remember this. I threw a ball across the gym, and fast forward like 10 years later, one of the kids that I did that with, like he was in the gym that watched, like he's older now and stuff. He was like, he always brings that up to me. He's like, bro, I remember y'all came to the gym and you threw and the gym wasn't even that big. He said, y'all came to the gym, you threw the ball across the gym. We was hyped, bro. It was crazy. But I'm like, some, like you said, a little is a lot.
Yeah, and that was little.
That was small. Like, that was huge. That was huge. So it's like stuff like that, y'all. Like, it don't even take that much time. Just spend that time with the youth. It's called the CV3 program. CV3 program. Yeah, I'm a volunteer my time. Okay. 100%.
Cool.
And then look, official sponsor, y'all. Tap in for real. For real, man. We doing it.
Yes, sir.
But man, thank you again, bro.
Hey, all day.
This was legendary.
All day,
for real. Midwest Matthew at it again. Let's get it, baby. Never settle.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, that was dope, man. I'm hyped now.
Yeah, that was
that was dope.
Hey, thanks for this shirt, though.
Man, of course.